I am again forced to respond to the pathological liar, Barrett Jagdeo. In his normal weekly ranting and raving, he suggested that as leader of the opposition, I am holding up the appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice. Mr. Jagdeo must stop lying. On the 12th of May 2022, by this letter that I have here, I informed the President that I am well prepared, and I can read it. In reference to the appointment of the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor, I said, this blotch on our country must be removed forthwith. In this regard, I am prepared to agree to the appointment of Madam Justice Janet Cummins Edwards, ORCH, to be appointed Chancellor of the Judiciary of Guyana, and Madam Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire, CCH-SC, to be appointed Chief Justice. So I, in writing, said to the government, I am prepared to agree to that appointment. Now, the government is the one who responded by saying, with regards to your penultimate and final paragraph, reference the appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice, it appears that you have misinterpreted your role as leader of the opposition with regards to constitutional appointment. It is the President who decides when he is ready to engage you as leader of the opposition with regards to any specific constitutional appointments, and not the other way around. So it is clear that I have indicated since May of last year that I am prepared to agree to the appointment of Justice Janet Cummins as Chancellor and Roxanne George Wiltshire as Chief Justice. It is therefore disingenuous for Barrett Jagdeo to suggest I am standing in the way, or there is probably a problem with he and the President, so the President didn't tell him he was written to this effect. If that is the case, then it is their problem. And I heard Mr. Jagdeo talking about me disowning family. I don't want to really run down this road, but Barrett Jagdeo must know that he's the only head of state this country has ever seen that told this country he was married to Varshini, and then turn around and disown it saying he wasn't married. He has no moral right to talk about anybody disowning relatives. He disowned somebody he told us he was married to when she pointed out that he was ill-treating her and locking her out of the room. So who is Barrett Jagdeo? This man is a madman. It is only a madman will know that we would have said we agreed to these appointments, then turns around and say we are blocking it. It is only a madman will know that he disowned a woman he told us he married and then come back and say he didn't marry her. So Barrett Jagdeo is wasting people's time. There are many critical issues that we want Barrett Jagdeo to address. High cost of living, poverty. Those are the issues that he should be addressing. He is talking about us accusing them of racism. I repeat, the government is racist. If you look at all the pictures of the persons that they give contracts to, you will see more than 95% of them are to one ethnic group. The Ministry of Home Affairs recently had a contractors meeting, and in that meeting, you were just seeing one ethnic group. Whenever they publish in the press, the persons they are giving contracts to, they give it to one ethnic group in the main. And in the case where they give to African groups, Guyanese, they are small amounts. I saw the Minister of Regional Development talking in New Amsterdam about giving contracts to clean the area. That is fine. But the real contracts in this country, the $1 billion in contracts, are not going to all ethnic groups. And so I reaffirm the position that the People's Progressive Party is a racist regime that is not giving African Guyanese and indigenous people and other ethnic groups their fair share of the national pie. But I don't intend to follow up with Jagdeo anymore and his garbage. Because all Jagdeo is seeking to do is to shift focus away from his wrongdoings. He wants to shift focus away from the fact that he is involved in another scam in which we will get EID cards for 30-something million when it can be had for less than that. He wants to keep our eyes off of the revelations in the Vice News documentary that establish he is accused of bribery and corruption, including as it relates to oil blocks. So it is clear to me that Barrett Jagdeo is trying to find all kinds of issues to do two things. One, not address the critical issues affecting Guyanese, and two, to shift away from the allegations of bribery, corruption, and the scams he has been involved in. I call on the Guyanese people to not be browbeaten. Recognize he is ranting and raving because he wants to shift focus away from his incompetence, his inability to find solutions to Guyana's problems, from the allegations of bribery and corruption. I do not think I will continue to respond to Barrett Jagdeo unless he gets as outrageous as he is today. But the reality is, the question of the appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice are squarely in the hands of President Irfan Ali and his boss, Barrett Jagdeo. I will say no more on this issue. Guyanese, I think by now, are tired of the lies of Barrett Jagdeo.